Today we're talking about Dodge. 52 facts about the brand that built the Demon, the Viper, the Hellcat, the Daytona, the Caravan, and somehow turned bad decisions into horsepower. Number 1. Let's start with something most people would never guess. The word dependability was made famous by Dodge. Back in 1914, one of Dodge's marketing guys thought dependable sounded too boring, so he started using dependability in their ads. The word caught on so hard it eventually made its way into the dictionary. Dodge did not just sell cars. They helped sell the English language. Number 2. The Dodge Demon came standard with only one seat. Just the driver's seat. If you wanted a passenger seat, Dodge charged you $1. If you wanted rear seats, that was another $1. And if you wanted the drag racing kit, that was also $1. Dodge built an 800 horsepower monster and then priced options like they were selling candy at a school fundraiser. Number 3. The Challenger has cup holders inside the engine bay. Yes, actual cup holders under the hood, so you can put a drink there while working on the car. That might be the most Dodge feature ever made. Some brands design tool trays. Dodge designs a place to set your beer while staring at a Hemi. Number 4. Dodge is the reason NASCAR had to calm down on crazy aero. In 1969, Dodge built the Charger Daytona with a giant wing, a pointed nose, and serious aerodynamic tricks. It became the first NASCAR car to hit 200 miles per hour, and it was so good that officials basically said, "Okay, this is getting dangerous." So NASCAR restricted the aero cars, and the Daytona became a legend almost overnight. Number 5. The Demon 170 logo has a little 170 tattoo on the Demon's neck. Dodge looked at the normal Demon logo and apparently thought, not insane enough. So they gave the mascot a neck tattoo, because when your car makes around 1,000 horsepower, subtle branding is already dead. Number 6. The first-generation Dodge Viper did not have normal door handles. To get in, you had to reach inside and open the door from the interior. And because it had no roof, no real windows, and no door locks, that was actually possible. The early Viper was not a car. It was a legal loophole with a V10. Before we continue, if you enjoy videos like this, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. These videos take a lot of time, research, editing, and money to make, and your support really helps us keep going. Thank you. Number 7. Dodge fans love saying Hemi, but technically, modern Dodge Hemis are not pure hemispherical engines anymore. The name comes from the shape of the combustion chamber, but Dodge flattened the chambers in the 2000s to improve efficiency. So the name stayed, the legend stayed, the noise stayed, but the geometry got a little less honest. Number 8. Dodge brought back the Fratzog logo, and the funniest part is that the word means absolutely nothing. It was originally just a placeholder name from decades ago, something somebody made up until they could find a better name. But nobody found one, so Dodge kept it. That is peak Dodge. Accidentally name a logo with nonsense, then make it heritage. Number 9. If you hold a Hellcat wide open, it can drain the entire fuel tank in about 15 minutes. That is not fuel economy. That is a countdown timer. Dodge basically built a car where full throttle feels like pouring gasoline directly into noise. Number 10. The Dodge brothers started by making parts for other companies, especially Ford. They helped build parts for the Model T, made a fortune, and then their relationship with Henry Ford turned ugly. Ford tried to avoid paying them properly. They sued him, won, and used that money to start building their own cars. Dodge was born partly out of engineering skill and partly out of revenge money. Number 11. In 1915, General George S. Patton used Dodge vehicles in a military attack during the conflict with Mexican forces. That was one of the first times motor vehicles were used in combat. A few months later, the tank was invented. So Dodge was there right when warfare started moving from horses to engines. Number 12. The Dodge Ram SRT-10 was basically a pickup truck with the heart of a Viper. Dodge took a Ram 1500, gave it a V10, sporty body parts, a spoiler on the bed, and created one of the dumbest, coolest trucks ever sold. The package cost about as much as the truck itself, which sounds financially insane, because it was. Number 13. Mopar is not just a word Dodge fans scream at car meets. It originally came from Motor Parts, Chrysler's parts division. The term first appeared on antifreeze products, which is fitting because Chrysler helped create modern antifreeze. So every time someone says Mopar like it's a religion, remember it started on a bottle. Number 14. Plymouth paid Warner Brothers to use the Roadrunner name and cartoon horn. They spent real money, so their muscle car could sound like a cartoon bird. And somehow, it worked perfectly. Only in the muscle car era could a serious performance car be branded around Meep Meep. Number 15. The Dukes of Hazzard made the Dodge Charger famous, but it also destroyed a terrifying number of them. The show used so many orange Chargers for jumps and crashes that they reportedly created shortages in the area. Producers were literally searching for more Chargers to sacrifice. That show did not just feature the Charger. It hunted them. Number 16. Some Dodges have a feature where if you pull and hold the downshift paddle, the car drops into the best gear for maximum power. Basically, you tell the car, "I'm about to do something stupid," and it helps you do it faster. Number 17. The Ram TRX has a little Easter egg in the engine bay showing a T-Rex eating a Raptor. That is not subtle. The truck was built to fight the Ford Raptor, and Dodge literally put the rivalry under the hood. Imagine being so petty that even your plastic trim talks trash. Number 18. The Dodge Caravan created the minivan segment, but the idea originally came from people who worked at Ford. Lee Iacocca and Hal Sperlich pitched a family, Magic Wagon, to Ford, but Henry Ford II rejected it. Then Iacocca got fired, went to Chrysler, built the Caravan, and changed family cars forever. Ford basically fumbled one of the biggest vehicle ideas of the 1980s. Number 19. During Demon production, Dodge skipped production number 666. They knew that number would create weird resale hype, especially because the car was literally called Demon. So instead of feeding collectors one cursed unicorn, Dodge just avoided it. Even Dodge knew that was too much devil energy. Number 20. The Viper happened because Bob Lutz wanted a modern Cobra-style monster and told engineers not to let logic ruin it. No focus groups, no corporate smoothing, no committee nonsense. The team created a V10 manual supercar that was raw, dangerous, and ridiculous. Lee Iacocca drove the prototype and basically said, "Build it!" And that is how the Viper escaped into public roads. Number 21. According to the source, Ram pickup drivers ranked terribly in a study for accidents, DUIs, and traffic violations. Whether you blame the trucks, the owners, or the type of person who looks at a giant Ram and says, "Yes, that's me," it fits the stereotype way too perfectly. Number 22. Dodge once built a roofless Charger concept and literally called it the car with no name. Not as a joke name after launch. That was the name. Somewhere in Dodge, people developed an entire concept car and forgot the most basic part of branding. Honestly, that makes it even better. Number 23. 2023 was the last year Dodge made manual cars. After that, manuals were gone from the brand. Which feels wrong for a company built on loud, dumb, old-school muscle. But that is where the industry went. Even Dodge eventually had to let the stick shift die. Number 24. Before cars, the Dodge brothers built bicycles. They even patented a dirt-resistant bicycle bearing in 1896. That matters because it shows Dodge was not born from marketing. The brothers were real mechanical people first. Before Hellcats and Demons, there were bearings and bicycles. Number 25. The first Viper was dangerously bare bones. No ABS, no traction control, no stability control, no real safety net. A lot of early Vipers were crashed very quickly, and owners also got burned by the side exhausts, which became known as the snake bite. The Viper did not just punish bad drivers. It punished legs. Number 26. In 1969, Dodge launched the Dart Swinger, and the name has aged in the funniest possible way. Back then, Swinger was meant to sound lively and stylish. But over time, the meaning changed enough that the whole campaign became way more awkward than Dodge probably intended. Number 27. The Dodge La Femme was built in 1955 as a car for women, and it is exactly as bad as that sounds. Pink paint, pink interior, makeup storage, a purse attached to the seat, all designed by men who apparently never asked women what they actually wanted. It failed badly, because shockingly, women did not all want a rolling cosmetics bag. Number 28. Dodge once sold a car called the Dodge Attitude, but it was basically a rebadged Hyundai, and in some cases it still had Hyundai badges. That is not even lazy rebadging. That is forgetting to finish the disguise. Imagine buying a Dodge and the car is still quietly saying Hyundai. Number 29. The Dodge Viper was the first production car with a V10 engine, and the Magnum V10 used in Ram trucks was the first mass-produced V10 in the world. Dodge really looked at normal engine choices and said, "What if more cylinders, less reason?" Number 30. The 1932 Dodge 6 was the first car to use Chrysler's new rubber engine mounts. That might sound boring, but it was important because it reduced vibration and made cars feel more refined. Even Dodge, the Chaos brand, has some genuinely smart engineering history hiding under all the tire smoke. Number 31. Dodge once sold a lineup of trucks called adult toys. Not that kind of adult toy muscle trucks. They had names like Warlock, Street Van, and Dodge Dude. It sounds like their marketing department was run out of a garage with neon lights and terrible judgment. But honestly, it fits the brand perfectly. Number 32. If you leave your key in the trunk of a Dodge and close it, the car can automatically pop the trunk back open. That is a genuinely useful feature. It saves you from locking yourself out and then standing there like an idiot, questioning every decision that led to that moment. Number 33. The Black Ghost Challenger is one of the coolest Dodge stories ever. In 1970s Detroit, a mysterious black Challenger would show up to street races, beat everybody, and disappear. Nobody knew who drove it. Years later, the owner was revealed as Godfrey Qualls, a Detroit police officer and Army veteran. Dodge later honored him with a special Black Ghost Challenger. That is not just a car story. That is street racing folklore. Number 34. When Dodge announced it would build cars in 1914, more than 22,000 businesses applied to become Dodge dealers before Dodge had even built a single car. That is how strong the Dodge brothers' reputation was. People trusted them before they had a showroom product. Number 35. Dodge apparently photoshopped the playground behind a Dodge Caravan in some manuals. A family van, built to carry children, and they could not even get a real playground photo. It is such a small detail, but also weirdly hilarious. The minivan deserved better graphic design. Number 36. Dodge worked with Carroll Shelby on several cars, and one of the best was the Omni GLH. GLH stood for Goes Like Hell, because of course Shelby named it that. It was a light turbo hatchback built to embarrass bigger, more expensive cars. Then Shelby bought the last 500 units and made them even faster, calling them GLHS, goes like hell's s'more. That man was a menace in the best way. Number 37. The Demon was so powerful that buyers had to sign a waiver before getting one. Dodge wanted legal protection in case owners hurt themselves or others. That is insane. Most cars come with a warranty. The Demon came with a warning that basically said, "Please don't die and blame us." Number 38. The term Scat Pack comes from Dodge's 1960s performance lineup. Scat meant get lost, and Pack played off the Rat Pack. Today, the name is tied to performance models that can run a quarter mile under 14 seconds. It sounds weird, but in Dodge language, weird is usually the point. Number 39. The Viper's headlights came from a strange chain of events involving BMW, General Electric, and saving money. GE had designed headlights for the BMW Z1, but BMW backed out. Years later, Dodge needed cheap headlights for the Viper, and those in used units fit well enough. Dodge even kept the prototype leveling tubes just to save a couple dollars. A supercar built with leftover headlight energy. Number 40. Plymouth invented the column shifter in 1938. That is a real contribution to car history. Before every minivan, truck, and old American sedan had that shifter sticking out of the steering column, Plymouth helped make it a thing. Number 41. Dodge built V10 Challenger drag packs in 2011. These were not normal Challengers. They were factory drag cars with naturally aspirated 8.4-liter V10s, roll bars, drag tires, and no street-legal nonsense. Later, Dodge built an even faster drag pack that could run the quarter mile in the 7-second range from the factory. That is not a trim level. That is a drag strip weapon. Number 42. The Ram TRX was not named directly after the dinosaur, the way people think. According to the source, Dodge's team forgot to get their name list cleared by legal in time, so they had to use whatever name was available. TRX was already an old Dodge off-road package name, so it became the choice. The dinosaur jokes came after, and Dodge absolutely leaned into them. Number 43. The Dodge Demon was the first production car to come with a trans brake. In drag racing, that helped the car launch harder by holding it in place without using the regular brakes. Dodge put serious drag strip hardware into a street car and then acted surprised when it got banned from certain events. Number 44. Ram split away from Dodge in 2009 because the truck market was growing fast, and the company wanted Ram to stand on its own. That also meant Dodge had to stop using the Ram head logo and find a new identity. So yes, Ram and Dodge feel like the same family because they are. The paperwork just moved out. Number 45. The Dodge brothers both died in 1920 after becoming sick during the Spanish flu era. John died first, and Horace died later the same year. Only a few years after that, Chrysler bought Dodge for a huge amount of money. The brothers built the name, but they did not live long enough to see what the brand became. Number 46. Dodge once ran the Power Dollars program, where buyers got a discount based on horsepower. $10 off for every horsepower. So if a vehicle had 700 horsepower, that meant thousands off the price. That is the most Dodge discount possible. Not based on fuel economy. Not based on safety. Based on horsepower. Number 47. Dodge vans became popular underground race machines in Japan. Japanese motorcycle racers liked them because they were big, cheap, and powerful, and eventually racing Dodge vans became its own strange scene called Daijobun. That means Dodge accidentally created a sketchy Japanese van racing culture. Number 48. The Dodge Tomahawk was a motorcycle with an 8.4-liter V10 from the Viper. It had 4 wheels, 500 horsepower, and absolutely no practical reason to exist. Dodge only built a tiny number because it could not really make the thing road legal. The Tomahawk is what happens when engineers ask, "What if motorcycle?" and nobody says no. Number 49. Most side mirrors fold inward if they hit something. Challenger mirrors rotate up and down instead, which means they can break in a way that feels completely unnecessary. It is a tiny detail, but very Dodge. Even the mirror design somehow has bad decision energy. Number 50. Dodge's modern cool era happened largely because of Tim Kuniski's. He understood that Dodge needed to be emotional, loud, childish, and fun, not a boring efficiency brand. He gave engineers room to build ridiculous cars like the Demon 170. A lot of CEOs manage spreadsheets. This guy let Dodge become a factory for bad ideas with warranty coverage. Number 51. The modern Charger is actually surprisingly aerodynamic. It has a similar drag coefficient to the old Charger Daytona, and it is more aerodynamic than the Challenger. That feels wrong because the Charger still looks like a brick with attitude, but apparently the air likes it more than you'd expect. Number 52. The Viper was discontinued in 2017, but not mainly because of low sales or emissions. The bigger issue was new side curtain airbag rules, and Dodge did not want to spend the money to redesign the Viper properly. So one of the rawest American sports cars ever died because airbags became mandatory. The snake was killed by safety regulations.